So here's my first running test of the NuViz here in San Francisco, California. Running on 19th Avenue, also known as Pacific Coast Highway to people who don't live in the city. It's I've had the NuViz unit on this helmet for a couple weeks now, but I was only using it during the Veterans Charity Ride while I was piloting a Indian Chief sidecar camera bike, and I was just getting used to the controls. So I've mounted the NuViz controller over here on the left handlebar. I already don't like that location, so I'm going to move it, but only slightly. The mount is actually a sticky mount that's fork shaped, and it slides between the grip and the switch mount, and then it's slotted, and it has a 90-degree bend that goes into that slot, and that 90-degree bend, oh, thank you, show you here. So the fork piece slotted, and then there's a 90. This piece comes off. It has a 90-degree, so it's highly adjustable. You can slide this piece, telescope it up and down. You can angle it several different ways. And all I'm going to do is flip it so that the controller is sitting inboard instead of outboard. Right now it sits outboard. You can see my hand is easily bumps into it, which is not a huge problem. It's just annoyance. It was immediately noticeable when I started riding. When I mounted it, I noticed it right away without gloves on, but I thought, oh, I'll probably get used to it. And I might be able to get used to it. The thing is, I don't want to get used to it. I can flip it so that it's sitting inboard and still use it just fine. And all it takes is an 8mm nut and bolt, a couple of minutes. Anyways, the heads-up display is extremely accessible and easy to use once you get used to it. But double underlined, once you get used to it. There are a lot of features, since you can make phone calls, you can play music, you can use the camera both for still and video. It has a live view, so you can aim the camera, and you can use GPS mapping. You can save routes and not just use regular GPS. So there are a lot of features. And the default feature is to leave your speed displayed in either miles an hour or kilometers an hour. You can change from metric to standard when you first turn it on. You can also turn the heads-up display off completely by tapping the power button that's on the unit. It's the only button that's actually on the NuViz itself. Everything else is done with the controller, the Bluetooth controller over on the handlebar. But if you tap the power button once, it turns the screen off. Tapping it again turns the screen on. Takes, I don't know, 5 seconds to power back on, probably less. The camera will time off if you're not using it. It takes about 5 seconds to power up. It's maybe 6. Which can be a problem if you like to shoot stills quickly. It makes a tone when the camera is disabled. So you just have to listen for it, and something shows up at the bottom of the display to tell you camera disabled. But that saves a lot of battery. This thing can last, actually I don't know for sure because I've never run the battery all the way dead. I've gotten 8 hours of use out of it and still had 1 bar showing, no low battery warning. But that did have over an hour where I had the display off, but I was listening to music and took about 110, 120 pictures that day, and maybe half a dozen videos. So the battery is impressive, which makes sense for something that weighs over half a pound. As you guys can probably tell, the microphone quality is not that great. I haven't played with the location of it a lot. This helmet is the Speed and Strength. It has a very large chin curtain that actually touches my chin. I still don't consider it a quiet helmet. You know, it is a retails sub $300 for a modular helmet. I have the chin vent closed right now. Oh no, I have it open right now, so it's closed now. But it's just not the greatest microphone when compared to either the Sena 10C. Its boom microphone, I think, blocks more wind, and the wire microphone, I think, is probably equal to this one, maybe slightly better in wind blockage. And it has a high and a low gain option that I have not found yet in controls for this, but I am still experimenting. But that is my initial review of the NuViz system. I definitely give it a huge plus for the battery life and the quality of the photos and video. It absolutely obliterates the Sena 10C when it comes to photo quality. The location of the camera is way better since it's more centrally mounted. The heads-up display has to be futzed with and moved around quite a bit. That can be annoying. I find it only annoying at times, and overall I'm neutral on that. It doesn't really bother me enough to say that it bothers me. You get used to it. You do have to have a full face helmet to use it. That's not a problem for me because I wear full face helmets. Other pluses besides battery life and image quality are, again, like I said, the location of the camera gives you this much more head-on view instead of the side mount. The live view allows you to aim the camera. Not only does the heads-up display move around where the camera's mounted, but the camera itself moves inside. Allows you a lot of different angles, and you can check. So if you're in the tuck like this, you can turn back on the live view and re-aim the camera if you know you're going to stay like that. That's fantastic. The live view turns off after a few minutes so that you don't end up staring at it and driving yourself off of a side of a bridge or something, or into the back of a car. And so the biggest downsides, again, is the weight and the amount of time it takes to set up and get used to. But again, it does more than the Cena 10C with the its ability to do GPS and routes. But of course, you have to download an app and give it quite a few permissions on your phone. But that allows it to override your music player and play music and get into your contacts so that it can make phone calls for you. Alright, so time for me to get on the road. So you can check out NuViz, see some of the images and videos that people are doing on Instagram. They're at Ride NuViz, NuViz. And you can always check me out at JohnnyKillmore, JohnnyKillmore. And I'm on JohnnyKillmore.com. You can check out any of my updates and articles. Find all the links to my other videos, other social media, and follow my fantastic blog and sign up for my weekly digest. Get in your lane there, buddy. Alright. Rock and roll, planet Earth. Check you later.